Hey guys, how you going? Brad here from BGVC. Thank you for joining me for the very first episode of my new series I'm doing about making my very first documentary. This is a vlog that I've planned on doing for a while now. I haven't been hugely active with the channel, but I appreciate the people that have commented or been a part of my other videos, mainly about gear and gimbals and the GH5. I love the GH5. There he is right there, always by my side. Anyway, today I want to get episode number 1 underway. I'm going to talk about delving into documentary filmmaking. So just a quick bit of history about me to give that context. I bought my very first camera, a Canon 7D, about 10 years ago. I worked full time and I bought it with the intention of, you know, making music videos. And I think back then I even was like, I'd love to be a documentary filmmaker. But pretty quickly, like as I kind of found myself getting better at using the camera, I had like an old Steadicam 2000, a few cool lenses, and I really liked shooting things more cinematically, you know, getting richer colors and shooting with depth and stuff like that. So pretty soon you find yourself shooting weddings, and then from there I went into TV ads. And before you know it, 10 years has passed and all you've done is work with the gear that you have. I quit my job 3 years ago and was to solely focus on video, which was a pretty big and scary step because I made pretty alright money working in a completely unrelated field. But I'd been doing enough video work on the side that I thought, I'm going to take the jump. And I have no regrets about that, but it is hard not to just get caught up working. So in 2019, it's currently May 2021. In 2019, I was like, I'm going to start making a documentary. So I'm going to get fully into that. But in this episode, I just wanted to do a quick introduction, a very brief history, which I've just given you, and how I'm planning on approaching this documentary. I will say straight out the gates that I have no formal training with like really film or film editing. It's just been something that I've done over the years at a professional level. Like I've done broadcast TV stuff, I've done cinema ad, I've done a lot of corporate video editing, just stuff like that. But documentary filmmaking is I just figure I should know enough now to get me over the line, and I'm going to be learning as I go, and I'm going to be sharing these experiences as I go along. So if you're in a similar boat to me, or if you've done it and you want to weigh in and give me some advice, great. If you're new to videography and editing, yeah man, strap in and like join the ride, because I have no idea what's in store. I have been working on the film for a couple of years now, and I'm at a point now where I want to sort of play catch up over these first few episodes of this vlog and then continue on from there. Before I end this episode, I'll quickly talk about gear, because I feel like maybe gear is, you know, that might weigh into whether or not you want to continue watching or not. The gear that I'm filming to use this documentary is primarily, I have used a few other cameras so far, but primarily I'm using the Lumix S5, which I'm shooting on right now, and the Panasonic GH5. I'm a big fan of the GH5, and when I wanted to get a second camera, all things considered, the S5 made sense for me. I basically just wanted a GH5 with better low light performance, and apart from the in-body stabilization, I feel like the S5 is pretty close to the GH5. I mean, it definitely outperforms it with video quality, but man, I'm just a sucker for the GH5. It's just such a good camera. The in-body stabilization is so good. I don't use any Lumix lenses, so I do notice a bit of a change in stabilization. But for this documentary, it really doesn't matter. I do have a couple of gimbals, the Zhiyun Weebill S and the Zhiyun Crane 3S, and I got mixed feelings about the Crane, but I need it because the GH5 is at the far end of what the Weebill can handle. So the Crane has been handy, but it's got its quirks, let's just say that. I'll talk about that maybe another time, but maybe not. I don't feel like it needs any more attention than YouTube's already given it. The lenses that I'm using are, the lens that's on there now is the Canon L Series 24 to 105 f4. I've got an old Canon 50mm ultrasonic 1.4, the Tokina 11 to 16 for wide stuff. I'm not going to use those lenses a whole lot. And I've got my GH5 with it's almost mandatory Sigma Art 18 to 35mm, a cheap follow focus, a side grip, an Atomos Shinobi, and that's rigged up how it goes. They're ready to go, and I'll be rigging out the S5, and I will show that in later episodes. Rigged out, same thing, second screen, follow focus, matte box, shoulder rig, just a few things just to be up and for that run and gun style filming. I did consider getting a camcorder. I looked at Canon camcorders for a bit. Look, you got to draw the line somewhere with gear. I spent money on lighting, I've spent money on gimbals, I've spent hundreds on little attachments and whatnot. We all know what it gets like. For the audio, I'm using the what is it called? The Rode Video Link kit. It's reasonably good. I think it's okay. And I've just ordered the Rode VideoMic NTG, which I'm quite excited about getting. I'm using a Godox VL150 for the lights. I've got a few other LED panels with barn doors, a bunch of stands, just the things that you got lying around. I'm editing the whole thing in Final Cut using my 2019 iMac that's kind of specced up a little bit, but you know, they could always be better. So that's the gear I'm planning on using, and that's about it. That's pretty much where we're at with it. In the second episode, I'm gonna dive into the actual documentary itself and talk about how I decided a theme and how I decided on this type of style of documentary I was gonna film. So I know this one was a little rough. We're just kind of diving in there and figuring it out as we go, but that's who I am. I'm gonna make docos. That's the gear I'm planning on using for now. Will it work? We will find out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.